So we have available a number of different scripts which are really useful for moving data around a single instance of XNAT or between two different instances of XNAT. These scripts can be found at this URL on GitHub. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at moving some Dicoms that we've just taken off the scanner, putting those onto XNAT in the first instance for the purpose of storing a raw copy of these Dicoms, and then moving a copy over to Compute XNAT for the purpose of running image preprocessing pipelines. So to do this, we're going to open up some of these scripts. We're going to start by looking at the Folderise Dicoms script. And what this script will do is it will read the Dicoms, it will read the header information, and it will get from the header information the scan name and scan number. And then it will organize the Dicoms into the different scan folders in numerical order in the order in which they were collected at the scanner. So to run this script, we have to point it to the input directory. So this is the Dicom folder containing our Dicoms. And then we give it an output directory. And then we can run the script. And then it will work its way through the Dicoms, organizing them into the different scan folders. So once it's complete, we can see we've got a summary here of the different scans it's found. So we have 3 scans related to a T1 weighted anatomical. Those are scans 4, 5, and 6. And then scan 14 is a diffusion scan, and then scan 20 is a top-up scan for that diffusion scan. And if we go back to our folder, we can see that these scans now exist. And there's a copy of the Dicoms in each of the folders. So now that we've made a copy and organized them into the different scan folders, we can delete the original Dicom folder. And next turn our attention to getting the data onto XNAT. So on XNAT, I've created this project called myTest. You can see it doesn't have any subjects associated with it yet. So the next function we're going to look at is the upload resource to XNAT script. And within this script, we need to point it towards the URL of XNAT and the project ID name. And then for this data set, we give it a subject number, a session label, and once we have those variables input, we can run this function. And we run these functions to put data onto XNAT or to move data off of XNAT. It will ask us for our username and password for that instance of XNAT. Once we enter those details, it will start transferring that data one scan at a time from your local machine onto XNAT. Once it's complete, we can go back to the XNAT browser. And if we refresh the web page, we can see that that subject has been populated for us. And within the MR session, we have the 5 different scans, and we can check those scans over in the Manage Files file manager, and we can see that it has uploaded those Dicoms into the XNAT file directory. So now that we have a backup copy of this data on XNAT, we're going to look at moving it over onto Compute XNAT. So here I have a project called Test. The next function we're going to look at for this purpose is the sync bypass transfer script. And for this script, we enter a source URL, and in this case it's XNAT, and we give it the project ID, which is myTest. And then we also give it a destination URL, which is Compute XNAT, and the project ID that exists there that we want the data to arrive to. Now this script can be set up to move data in a forwards direction or a backwards direction, depending on which way the data is going to be moved. We can enter 1 or more subject labels. And the way that this script works is it will download the data from one XNAT and we'll upload it into the other XNAT. So we also have to give it a directory for downloading those files and then uploading the files. So once we have all of this information, we can run the script. And again, we'll be prompted to enter our username and password for each of the 2 XNAT instances. And once we enter those details, the script will download the scans one at a time and then upload them to Compute XNAT. And this is a useful script if the sync plugin for XNAT is ever not functioning properly, or if it's taking too long to actually transfer the data. You can use this script to sort of bypass that sync plugin and just do the data transfer sort of automatically using your local machine as a destination for the data to land in before it gets uploaded to the second XNAT instance. And when the script is complete, we can go back to Compute XNAT, we can refresh that catalog, and we can see that the data for subject 1 has landed on this instance of XNAT.